Hello and welcome back to Substream News, where we cover the weird, the wild and the wonderfully futuristic. Now, in today's episodes, I'm going to be covering Apple chip vulnerabilities, former employees spilling secrets at various companies, undetectable VPNs, that's a very big one, and I have a bit of a weird story about fossilized vomit. Yeah, stick around for that one. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Now buckle up and let's enjoy this bumpy ride. Let's roll. Can you see that? Came out with a full battery. I've been out of the home about 20 minutes and I've already lost some of my battery bar. Ridiculous. But your iPhone might be losing more than just its battery life. Please let me explain. So, two new major vulnerabilities have been discovered in Apple's A and M series chips, and this can leak sensitive information like credit card info, location data, things like that through Safari and Chrome. There's been this exploit discovered, and it could impact you if you have an M or A series thing. Now, they've even been given names. These exploits have been called Flop and Slap, which I'm sure are acronyms. They abuse speculative execution to bypass security measures. Now, Flop, in particular, can read any memory address in your browser, while Slap targets specific strings in Safari. So just be careful, with your devices, I suppose. So affected devices include MacBooks, iPads and iPhones from 2021 onwards. Now, a fix has not been released yet. At the time I'm making this video, there is no official fix. So just maybe think twice before perhaps checking your bank account or purchasing anything online. Now, if you want to know more about precisely how your devices might be affected, if you think you might have a device that is affected, the link is in the video description below, so go check that out. We, however, are going to move on to our next story. Now, we've seen there that Apple can easily leak your secrets, but staying on that theme of leaked secrets, do you ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes, perhaps at your favorite restaurants, your favorite supermarkets, shops, companies you interact with regularly, brands you purchase goods from? All of them have dirty little secrets, and a Redditor recently asked, what's a company secret you can share now that you don't work there? And I love that question. I read dozens of responses. I found them really fascinating, and I wanted to show some of them to you. Here's what people said. This is great. Okay, number one. I'm going to do some accents for you. I used to work surveillance at a casino. From something like 3 stories high, we could zoom in on money on the table games, read the serial numbers of the bills. We could see the pips on dice. The policy was not to look down women's blouses. I don't know why I went for Southern American. Next one. McDonald's here. Sandwiches with a round egg use real cracked eggs. If your order contains a folded and scrambled egg, it comes from a package kept in the freezer or fridge. I didn't know that, but that is a good point. I always felt like McDonald's scrambled eggs tasted a bit funny or old. Okay, if you were on a live chat with customer care at the company I worked for, I could see what you were typing before pressing send. I watched people work through grotesque, racist, sexist statements, fraudulent lies, and mistruths, and their whole range of emotions in real time, before deleting and typing, okay. I like that. There are more, again, link in the description below. While you're down there, smash subscribe. Why not? It's free and will remain so, I suppose. Are you familiar with NordVPN? No, we're not sponsored by them yet. Maybe one day. I know a lot of popular podcasts and channels are sponsored by NordVPN. We're not one of them, but if you're watching, we're open to it. Anyway, I want to tell you about Nord Whisper. This is a new product they've released, and it's actually very cool because, I've talked about this before. There is a cat and mouse game that goes on between VPN companies and security protocols, website designers, big tech, whatever. Right now we kind of can't skip YouTube videos. Somebody will design a way to do it, and then they'll design a way to stop that from working. It's this forever cat and mouse game. But yes, NordVPN has finally built a way to bypass sophisticated VPN blocks by camouflaging itself get this, as regular web traffic. So it's kind of gone full circle. It comes as governments ramp up efforts to block or restrict VPN usage around the world. They don't like you using the internet anonymously or in secrecy or changing your geolocation. Russia tested this thing. We covered it about how they could cut off the internet entirely for a whole region, and they did it, and it was absolutely insane. Was it Chechnya and Dagestan, I think? And they did it for like a day, and people were like, oh my God, they can just cut us off. Of course, with any VPN, you have to trade speed in exchange for stealth. But in this case, you maintain strong encryption, and according to reviews, this Nord Whisper product is fast enough to still play online games, stream movies. Probably just isn't fast enough to like run AI models or I don't know, something really computational like that. Now, it's not, if you're a user of the Tor network, it's not as anonymous as Tor, but it is way faster. So you can weigh up the pros and cons depending on what kind of honorable things you're doing online. Let's move on. Let's find another spot. Substreamers, do you have any idea what happens inside a black hole? I don't. I'd really like to. I'd really like to know. Maybe even see it for myself one day, but it's highly unlikely. But, of course, we have these things called astrophysicists, and they like to make all kinds of models and tests and theories. And apparently, thanks to quantum computing and machine learning simulations, they think they might have an answer about really what does happen inside a black hole. But again, these are just guesses, tests, models, and we don't really know empirically until we can see it for ourselves. But using what they call the holographic principle, which sounds sci-fi but is totally legit, researchers have modeled black holes as highly structured quantum states rather than seeing them as singularities, which was the previous basis. This could be a huge breakthrough for quantum mechanics and general relativity, uniting them because they are actually kind of at odds with each other. They kind of conflict, but this might bring them together. Now, the science is super deep, super technical. I know some of you watching this can handle it. You have the backgrounds, knowledge, and comprehension for it. Not sure I do. Actually, the whole report was mind-blowing to me, mind-boggling, and I didn't understand all the jargon, but you probably will, so go down to the video description, hit subscribe, smash subscribe, roundhouse kick subscribe while you're down there. We're fast approaching 500 subs, and when we get there, we can do some more things, so we need your support. Let's move on to the next story. Let's go. And now, substreamers, moving on to our lighter note, we love to finish with something a bit weird and less heavy than some of the other stories. This might be the most disgusting story we've covered, but then again, the bar's high. We can find some pretty grotesque stories in the news, but this one I really like. It's maybe the oldest vomit ever found. In Denmark, they found some fossilized vomit that's 66 million years old. Now, this prehistoric puke was found in the cliffs of Stephens, I'm not quite sure how to say it, by an amateur fossil hunter called Peter Bennick. And it contains remnants of sea lilies. So this fish had been eating sea lilies and vomited them out, and they somehow couldn't be digested, and so the Earth held on to them for 66 million years, and so we can study them. Let me just kind of move to the side, get a little picture in there so you can see them. They're kind of beautiful in a really gross way. Now, the experts have said this is actually a really rare find. It's a bit of a treasure. It's a treasure trove for understanding ancient ecosystems. And I have a quote here from Jesper Milan. He's a paleontologist at the Museum of East Zealand in Denmark, and he said, it provides important information about which animals were eaten by which. And yeah, I think that's really interesting. If you agree, let me know down in the comments what you think. I think that's really, really weird and wonderful. And I'm sure this Peter Bennick guy was a bit disappointed that it wasn't ambergris. Now, we've covered that in a previous story. Whale vomit is super valuable. It's used for perfume. 66 million year old fish vomit, maybe not so valuable. But, just think, next time you puke up your dinner, it could one day be shown in a museum. I don't know if that makes you feel better, but that's it. Corporate confessions, cosmic mysteries, fossilized chunder. That's it for Substream News this week. We've had some weird and wonderful stuff here. If you've enjoyed it, smash that subscribe button. It's just below the video. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. But I will see you in the next video. I am Joseph, your presenter. This is Substream News, and have a great week. Stay weird, stay wonderful, stay informed, stay curious. Bye for now.